Hai beautiful people, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Anyway teman-teman, jadi kali ini aku mau nge-share satu experience atau pengalaman kepada kalian semuanya ya teman-teman. Dimana pengalaman ini, uang itu atau rezeki itu sangat mudah mendatangi kita. Dan uang terasa begitu benar-benar mencintai diri kita. Oke, sebelum aku lanjutkan videonya, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Dan jangan lupa kalian nonton terus channel YouTube kita ini karena selalu ada giveaway dan juga dana kaget teman-teman.
Mending jadi cewek yang fokus nyari duit dan hidup mandiri. Karena zaman sekarang cewek gatal dan cantik itu udah ada di mana-mana. Nggak tahu diri lagi.
Have you ever wondered if money loves you back as much as you love it? A peculiar question indeed, but one that provokes a deep dive into the concept of money, its history, and its role in society. The traditional definition of money in economics is a universally accepted medium of exchange. It's that crisp note or shiny coin that you exchange for a fresh loaf of bread or a cup of coffee. But money is more than just a facilitator of transactions. It's also a widely accepted means of payment for goods, services, and debts. The concept of money has evolved over centuries. Imagine a time when there were no coins or notes, just a barter system. You had a sack of grain and you wanted a goat. You'd find someone who had a goat but wanted grain, and you would trade. But this system had its limitations. What if you had grain but needed a goat, and all the goat owners didn't want grain? Here, the concept of a common medium of exchange, or money, became essential. The first forms of money were items like shells, beads, or even livestock. But as societies grew and trade expanded, these forms proved impractical. They were not durable, uniform, or easy to carry around. So society started using metal coins, a significant step in the evolution of money. As we moved into more modern times, carrying around bags of coins also became problematic. This led to the advent of paper currency, a form of money that was light, easy to carry, and could represent a large value. But who decides how much money to print? That's where central banks come into play. They regulate and control the money creation process to ensure economic stability. For instance, Bank Indonesia is the central bank in Indonesia, responsible for controlling money creation in the country. Money does not only serve as a medium of exchange or unit of account, it also functions as a store of value. It enables us to transfer purchasing power from today to a future time. This property is crucial for planning and saving for the future. But for money to effectively perform these functions, it needs to have certain characteristics. It should be widely accepted, durable, uniform, scarce, divisible, and have stability of value. These characteristics determine how well money serves as a medium of exchange. So, circling back to our initial question, does money love us back? Well, money is a tool, an invention of human society to facilitate trade and exchange. It does not have feelings or intentions, but it does have a profound impact on our lives. It determines our access to goods and services, our ability to save for the future, and our economic stability. In conclusion, money, from its early forms to its modern incarnations, has played a pivotal role in shaping society. It has evolved from simple barter systems to metal coins, and then to paper currency. Central banks now regulate the creation and distribution of money. Money serves as a medium of exchange, a unit of account, and a store of value. Its characteristics make it an effective tool for facilitating economic transactions. So, while money may not love us back, understanding its concept, history, and role can certainly help us navigate the economic world more effectively.
Oke teman-teman, jadi itu cara orang luar atau orang di luar sana atau para elit menghasilkan uang atau membuat uang menyukai mereka. Dan kita sebagai orang Asia atau orang lokal, apalagi kita orang Muslim, kita tahu benar sebenarnya bagaimana membuat uang itu mencintai kita atau mendatangi kita atau membuat rezeki kita itu semakin lancar dari segala penjuru atau dari semua pintu-pintu teman-teman. Tentu kita tahu. Jadi yang aku herankan ketika ketika ada orang yang memiliki rezeki dan dia tidak memanfaatkannya untuk melakukan atau menjadikan uangnya itu sebagai pembuka pintu rezekinya dia menjadi lebih banyak lagi. Ya heran aja, karena menurut aku ini kesempatan Anda ketika Anda memiliki sesuatu yang lebih atau harta kekayaan yang lebih. Kenapa Anda tidak memanfaatkan kesempatan itu untuk berbagi, untuk memperbanyak sedekah, untuk memperbanyak membantu orang-orang lain. Karena bisa saja di luar sana banyak orang berpikir untuk melakukan hal baik, membantu orang lain, bersedekah, tapi mereka tidak ada kemampuan karena mereka juga sangat kekurangan atau miskin. Dan kenapa Anda yang memiliki harta kekayaan berlebih banyak, justru kalian tidak memanfaatkan kesempatan itu?
Imagine being able to withdraw money from an ATM for free, not just withdrawing your own money but actually earning money. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, hold on to your hats because this isn't a fairy tale, it's reality. Step 1. Become a mystery shopper. Many companies pay people to test their customer service. This could involve anything from making a purchase to, you guessed it, withdrawing money from an ATM. These companies cover the cost and often pay a little extra for your time and feedback. Step 2. Sign up for cashback apps. Many of these apps partner with stores and brands to offer you cashback on purchases. Some even offer cashback when you withdraw money from an ATM within their network. It may not be a fortune, but every little bit helps. Step 3. Look out for promotional offers. Banks often run promotions where they offer cash bonuses for opening a new account or setting up direct deposit. Some of these promotions can be quite lucrative, making that trip to the ATM all the more rewarding. The final step? Invest in dividend-paying stocks. Yes, it's a bit more complex than the previous steps, but it's also potentially much more rewarding. These stocks pay out a portion of their profits to shareholders, creating a stream of income that you can withdraw from an ATM. Now let's wrap up those key points. Firstly, become a mystery shopper and get paid to test customer service, including ATM withdrawals. Secondly, sign up for cashback apps that pay you when you withdraw money from ATMs. Thirdly, keep an eye out for promotional offers from banks that add a little extra to your account. And finally, consider investing in dividend-paying stocks for a long-term income stream. And remember, while these methods may not make you a millionaire, they can certainly add some extra cash to your wallet. So go ahead, give them a try. The next time you're at an ATM, you might just be withdrawing money you didn't have to work for. Now, that's a dream come true.
Jadi seperti dalam video tersebut, teman-teman ya. Apa reaksi kamu ketika tiba-tiba aja di ATM kamu ada segepok uang atau ada nominal yang kalian lihat di ATM kalian? Yang sebelumnya bisa saja kalian tidak memiliki banyak uang di ATM atau bahkan saldo kalian itu sangat kecil atau bahkan zero sama sekali atau nol saldonya. Dan tiba-tiba saja uang itu ada di ATM kamu. Can you imagine? Ya, tidak ada hal yang tidak mungkin jika Allah menghendaki. Dan semua itu tergantung dari perbuatan kita atau karma baik yang telah kita lakukan. Jadi jangan pernah berhenti menjadi orang yang peduli akan sesama. Meskipun kamu tidak memiliki uang yang sangat banyak, tetapi ketika kamu ingin menolong, kamu berniat ingin berbuat baik, insya Allah pasti akan ada timbal baliknya. It's karma, you know. Dan yang utama yang harus kalian lakukan adalah jangan pernah pelit untuk bersedekah. Tidak harus banyak, sesuai kemampuan kamu, sesuai keikhlasan kamu, dan juga ketulusan hati kamu. Ketika kamu bekerja, jangan pernah mengeluh, jangan pernah merasa kamu itu tidak akan pernah menjadi orang sukses atau kamu tidak akan pernah bisa menjadi orang kaya. program dalam otak kamu sendiri, program setiap hari ketika kamu bangun tidur dan ketika kamu juga akan tidur malam. Jika kamu itu mampu menjadi orang sukses, kamu mampu menjadi orang kaya, kamu mampu menjadi seorang dermawan, membangun rumah orang tua kamu, bahkan kamu bisa membawa mereka ke tanah suci atau beribadah haji atau umroh. Tanamkan itu, karena apa yang kamu pikirkan itu yang akan terjadi. Apa yang kamu pikirkan itu adalah doa. Kamu tidak perlu tahu bagaimana caranya hal itu bisa terwujud. Itu adalah urusan Allah, urusan yang di atas. Kamu tidak perlu tahu bagaimana caranya Dia mewujudkan apa keinginan kamu ikut. Oke teman-teman, sekian dulu videonya. Semoga bermanfaat dan semoga aja video ini bisa merubah mindset kalian ya teman-teman. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. And see you on next video. Bye-bye. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.